Relationship between the size of the universe and time. We often use comparisons to perceive magnitudes. For example, when we compare the size of the planets with the size of the stars, we realize that the planets are not that big. Then, when we realize that there are billions of stars in a galaxy, we realize that the stars are not very big. Then, when we learn that there are billions of galaxies in the universe, we realize that the size of galaxies is nothing compared to the universe. When we learn that the density of matter in the universe is very small, and that most of the universe is actually empty space, the distances between stars and galaxies come to life before our eyes, and we encounter unimaginable dimensions, sizes, and quantities. Astronomy is recognized as the oldest science in human history. This science, which explores space, has a single source: the light that comes to our world from objects in space. Much of what is known in the field of astronomy is derived from the interpretation of electromagnetic waves that reach the Earth from objects in space. Thanks to this light, we can know how many stars there are in the universe, their distances from Earth, and even the materials they contain. How many stars are there in the universe? There are approximately 100 billion galaxies in the known universe. Each galaxy contains an average of 300 billion stars. In other words, the number of stars in the universe is numerically expressed as 3x1022. It is almost impossible to perceive or visualize these numbers. However, a beautiful definition has been made to perceive it. The amount of stars in the universe is greater than the amount of grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. To perceive the size of the universe, knowing the number of stars in it is not a sufficient argument. The space between the stars is the main parameter that determines the size of the universe. Because as far as we know, 99% of the known universe is empty space. All the matter in the universe can fill only 1% of the total volume. This means that there are enormous distances between the stars, which are too numerous to verbalize. How far away are the stars? The Sun is the closest star to Earth and is approximately 150 million kilometers away. But how far away is the nearest star other than the Sun? The kilometer unit is insufficient to answer this question. For this reason, a unit called light years is used to determine the distances of objects in space. So, what is a light year? Although the light year is a unit of time, it is actually a unit of distance and represents the distance that light travels in a year. This distance, we can calculate this distance from the formula path equals sine speed x time. The speed of light in space is 300 km per second. This is a tremendous speed. In other words, a beam of light can circumnavigate the Earth about 58 times in 1 second. How far does an object traveling at 300 km per second travel in a year? If we know how many seconds a year is, we know the answer to this question. Then the speed of light is 300x 60x 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 24 x 365 equals sine 9 46800 km. That is approximately 9.5 trillion kilometers. We can answer our main question now. How far away is the nearest star to our Earth, except the Sun? It is approximately 3.7 light years away. So we can find the answer to our question by multiplying the number we wrote above to find 1 light year in kilometers by 3.7. Well, let's look for an answer to a different question. How far is the farthest star from Earth? Actually, we need to draw some boundaries to answer this question. Because if we accept the universe as unlimited, the answer to this question will be undefined. Therefore, we need to ask how far the farthest star in the known universe is. What is the known universe? The concept of the known universe is a consequence of the Big Bang theory, which is the most widely accepted theory of the formation of the universe. The Big Bang is the beginning of time as it is accepted as the beginning of everything. This event that happened 13.8 billion years ago tells us that time began 13.8 billion years ago. Let's keep this information in mind. We mentioned earlier that we know everything we know about space, thanks to the light coming from objects in space, and that light travels at tremendous speeds. Even though light moves fast, it takes time to travel from one place to another in space due to the great distances between them. For example, we said that the distance of the Sun to the Earth is 150 million kilometers. It takes about 8 minutes for a beam of light from the Sun to reach the Earth at a speed of 300,000 km per second. If we calculate it from the equation time, =ρ, speed, we can find it simply. But how long does it take for the light from the nearest star, other than the Sun, to reach Earth? At a distance of 3.7 light years, it takes 3.7 years for a beam of light from this star to reach Earth. We said that the beginning of time was 13.8 billion years ago, so the farthest object that can send light to the Earth's position must be a maximum of 13.8 light years away. Therefore, the farthest object we can observe from Earth's position is 13.8 billion light years away. This is because not enough time has passed for the light beam emitted from an object 15 billion light years away to reach the Earth's position. In conclusion, the known universe is a sphere of 13.8 billion radius with the Earth at its center. However, it should not be forgotten that what we call the known universe may not be the universe. Is there beyond the known universe? Does it not exist? Or if there is, what is it? The answers to these questions are still a mystery in the world of science. It is possible to produce many theories on this subject, but one of the striking theories is the known universe is just a bubble in the sea of the universe. Space, time relationship. The size of the universe and the amount of things in it are beyond the limits of our understanding. One of the most interesting topics about space is the concept of time. Let's make a different interpretation based on the information mentioned above. We said that it takes 8 minutes for a light from the Sun to reach the Earth's position. So every time we turn our heads and look at the Sun, we actually see the Sun as it was 8 minutes ago. Or every time we look at Proxima Centauri, the closest star to the Sun, we see it as it was 3.7 years ago. For example, in a supernova explosion discovered 6 years ago, a supernova is a massive explosion of energy that ends the life of a massive star. The exploding star was found to be 5 billion light years away from Earth. This means that the Earth had not yet formed when that star exploded. Because the age of the Earth is 4.3 billion years, it took 5 billion years for that star to explode and its light to reach the Earth's position. When we look up at the sky, we are not looking at the present, we are looking at the past. Years in the past for the nearest stars, billions of years in the past for the farthest stars.